This is Marcus the Fingaz. I'm back at it again. I'm actually gonna share some apps that I use. I posted a track recently, and it's called "It Ain't Always Gonna Be You." And I posted it online, and someone had asked what apps was I using on the iPad to sort of get some of the sounds I was using. So I'm just gonna go over that process. Starting off with the drums here, I have a drum preset bank that I have loaded here, so I just saved it. It does have some sounds in there, but I'm usually bringing in sounds. But what it does have is my sort of channel strip. So I'm using FAC Transient here, and I just use this Punch on Drums preset. And I'm going from that into this FAC Maxima on this limiter fast reset preset. I don't think I've changed much of the settings from that preset there. And then I'm going from that to this low fly dirt. So sometimes I do change low fly dirt. Sometimes I keep it on the default setting here, and I just have in and out all the way up, and I adjust the dry and wet knob depending on how I want the drums to knock in the track. For this particular track, I had it on the 1200, the SP 1200 preset here, which adds some little bit of bit crushing and adds some little dirt and grittiness to it. So here's how the drums sound with everything on. Take out the low fly dirt. You see it's already losing some of that character. If I take out Maxima, you see it getting like smaller and smaller. And if I take out Transient, it's like the drums aren't even there. So put them all back. It just adds that, it just enhances everything. For this particular track, I had this sample by Cymatics that I chopped up. And here is that's sort of the chops I had. So I'm in Beatmaker 3. I didn't mention that on the iPad here. That's been my main production tool for about the last year and a half, 2 years. For this particular sample, I used Saturator to bring up the volume by 5 decibels. Then I went into this Tone Boosters Real Bus, and I used this Canadian board setting. It just adds little variation to the track, so it's almost like a tape variation. So if I play it without it, play it with it, you start to hear some, like, a little bit of like variation in the track. I can't really explain it, but you hear it in the mix. And then I have it going to FAC Altezza, which is probably one of my favorite reverbs. You can use it to wash out all kinds of sounds. I'm using it very subtly here, and here's what that sounds like. So you sort of hear it in the background. I'm using this Diving, the Blue Hole preset. I brought the feedback down to 20%, and I brought the out wet on the right here, that knob down significantly. But I like what it did to that. FAC Altezza. And then next I had this iSymphonic brass, the solo sax. I used that sound for the saxophone riff I threw in there. And then on this track, all I did was use the native reverb, had the width up to 100%, wet mix 47, and dry mix 33%. So here's the saxophone. Here it is without the reverb. And that's just me playing I'm playing the pads on the actual iPad. Here's the reverb again. Just to add some live feel. This Modal is by I believe the company is called Audio Burns. They have plugins like Modal, Spectrum. It's basically you build your own sound. I didn't add any presets to it. I basically went in here and just adjusted levels until I came up with a sound that I liked. Almost like some type of flute, whistle type. I don't know how to explain it, but I threw that in there. And then going from Modal into Bassalicious, probably my favorite bass app on the iPad, by gospel musicians. I use this acoustic jazz bass preset. And I threw that into Clevgrand's go-to EQ using this Good Start preset, which is the bass preset It's not dropping down right now, but it's one of their bass presets. If you go to the bass option in the presets, and then you'll find Good Start. I don't really tweak much there. And then that going into Lo-Fi Dirt, this is where I'm using just a default mode, have in and out, input and output all the way up, and then the dry wet right about there. And the bass, you hear some, it's like a little jazzy. For this particular track, I did it more. The inspiration was there's a Reddit group, and they're hosting a contest, an MF Doom type track contest. So I wanted to make an MF Doom type beat to enter into that. So I'm not going to play the whole thing because I do have another video with that, but just to play sort of all of the elements together right at this point. I won't play the whole thing. I'll link the video up if you want to watch the actual beat or listen to the actual beat, the full track. I'll link to that video. Thank y'all for checking this out. This is Marcus the Fingaz. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, DAFINGAZ, and I will see y'all in the next video.